All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to deconstruct exactly how to build the perfect 40-second educational short. We're looking at something incredibly specific, but honestly, it is universally applicable. We are going to break down how you can take a deeply technical, let's be real, often boring subject and turn it into an absolute viral masterpiece. And we'll do it using smart scripting, regional storytelling, and some seriously cool AI tools.
So let's ask ourselves a seemingly impossible question. How in the world do you make cybersecurity cute? Seriously, how can we take a dry, serious topic like one-time passwords or OTP scams and make it genuinely entertaining for an audience that is just endlessly scrolling on their phones? Usually when we think of cybersecurity awareness, we picture these sterile bank warnings or intimidating tech lectures. But to win in short-form content, we have to completely flip that script. We literally have to find a way to make the viewer smile before we ask them to learn anything at all.
Just think about the contrast here. On one hand, you have a standard bank warning, do not share your OTP. It's factual, sure, but it is entirely forgettable. Now compare that to the hilarious absolute innocence of a 2-year-old asking, wait, if I share my OTP, will my chocolates be stolen too? Suddenly, we aren't looking at a clinical warning anymore. We are experiencing the world through the innocent perspective of a child. And that contrast, that is the secret sauce. By framing the danger through a toddler's greatest fear, which is obviously losing their chocolates, we instantly capture the viewer's heart and their attention. Here is our roadmap for this explainer. 1. Anatomy of a viral short. 2. The power of regional storytelling. 3. Deconstructing the script. 4. Casting AI child voices. And 5. The final educational takeaway. Let's kick things off with Section 1. Anatomy of a viral short. Before we even think about writing cute dialogue, we need a skeleton that is proven to hold a viewer's focus. It's the foundational architecture of retaining attention. According to the StratBoost framework, a short has absolutely zero warm-up time. You literally cannot start by introducing yourself or giving background context. You have to follow this exact progression. Hook the viewer immediately, set up the premise quickly, deliver the useful points, provide a satisfying payoff, and end with a clear call to action. If you deviate from this, the viewer scrolls away. It is a harsh environment out there, but this formula is your safety net. So the really crucial point here is that retention starts in the script with a strong hook, not just in the editing room later on. You can have the flashiest graphics and the absolute best sound design in the world, but if that first line feels slow, people leave. The script is your blueprint. Every single sentence has to earn the right to the next sentence. Moving right along to Section 2, the power of regional storytelling. Taking that rigid clinical framework and breathing life into it using regional storytelling is where the real magic happens. For our masterclass example today, we're using the cultural warmth of the Telugu language to create a highly relatable family dynamic. Take the word Bangaroma, for example. It is this beautiful regional term of endearment in Telugu that translates roughly to gold or darling. Using highly specific regional vocabulary like this creates an instant, wholesome, natural connection with the audience. It perfectly establishes a caring, authentic mother-child dynamic with just one single word. It doesn't feel like some corporate script. It feels like a conversation you'd overhear in your own living room. By keeping the language grounded, we're using simple, daily use sentences that anyone can understand. We're leaning heavily into innocent child comedy dynamics, which, let's face it, are universally beloved. And most importantly, this integrates crucial local cybercrime awareness into a format that doesn't feel intimidating at all. Framing a serious scam warning inside an innocent domestic conversation makes complex cybersecurity lessons incredibly accessible and highly, highly engaging. All right, Section 3, deconstructing the script. Let's actually map this adorable Telugu dialogue directly onto our StratBoost framework. For the hook, the child simply says, Amma, oka uncle phone chesi OTP chepamantunaru, which means, Mom, an uncle called asking for the OTP. Boom, we are instantly in the story and the tension is established. For the setup, the mother responds affectionately, Ayo bangram, OTP evereki chapakadu, meaning, oh darling, OTP should never be shared. The child innocently asks why. Endakwama, Ayana nenu bank uncle anadu, pointing out the caller claims to be a bank uncle. The mother clarifies, bank valu epuru OTP adagaru, meaning bank people never ask for an OTP. Then comes that brilliant payoff. The curious child asks, Ante OTP chepe stena chocolates kuda potaya? Meaning, if I share my OTP, will my chocolates be stolen too? The mother gently corrects him, chocolates kadu bangaram mana debulu potai, letting him know it's their money that will be stolen. And finally, the call to action is seamlessly woven right into the child's realization. Ite nenu epudu OTP chepana, meaning, then I will never share my OTP. Replacing a dry technical setup with this hilarious cultural narrative hits every single structural requirement perfectly, all in under 40 seconds.
Now for Section 4, Casting AI Child Voices. Producing this dialogue is the next major challenge, right? Well, by leveraging AI text-to-speech tools like Typecast, you can completely sidestep the logistical nightmare, the expense, and the sheer unpredictability of trying to hire actual 2-year-old child actors. To get this sounding natural, you need to filter for voices specifically labeled for kids. You absolutely must keep the script's vocabulary incredibly simple so the AI cadence sounds realistic. From there, you can fine-tune the pitch and speed settings to match the exact energy of an adorable, curious toddler and a calm, caring mother. You can even use emotion tags to inject cute little laughs and natural pauses directly into the audio track.
Now, if you're sitting there thinking AI voices still sound robotic, you might want to think again. According to research on advanced deep learning models, synthetic voices are now achieving incredibly high scores for naturalness and consistency, especially in child voice models. The technology has gotten so good that it allows these synthetic voices to capture those incredibly subtle emotional expressions. We're talking about a slight giggle or a specific tone of innocent curiosity that makes these digital characters feel genuinely human and relatable to anyone listening.
And finally, Section 5, the final educational takeaway.
Okay, so we've hooked the viewer, we've made them smile with the whole chocolate joke, and we've utilized top-tier AI voices. But we have to make sure our short explainer actually delivers the educational value the viewer stuck around for in the first place. Notice how the mother's delivery of Ayo Bangaram anchors the entire dialogue. Her gentle warning to never share the OTP is delivered with a tone that is slightly funny, but ultimately very firm. It gracefully resolves the child's chocolate-related panic while seamlessly setting up the core non-negotiable lesson. It's gentle, yes, but the rule is absolute. The ultimate payoff here is distilling the entire narrative down to one clear, memorable, and actionable sentence. By the time the viewer gets to the core lesson, they've already absorbed it emotionally through the characters. Translated flawlessly back into the cultural tone we built, the final takeaway is cyber tip, OTP me secret, every kichapudu. The lesson completely sticks because the story paved the way for it.
And that brings us to the end of our breakdown. By combining proven script structures, relatable, emotionally resonant storytelling, and cutting-edge AI audio tools, the possibilities for creating captivating explainers are completely endless. You really don't have to settle for boring warnings ever again. So, I will leave you with this question. What mundane, everyday lesson will you transform into a hilarious, engaging, and viral story next?